I am not a runner yet. I've been trying really hard to be one because for as long as I can remember, I have been terrible at running. And I think that running is one of those sports where there's just a huge genetic predisposition to it, or at least we're trained to think that way. Because I remember in elementary school hearing my gym teacher tell us that he could walk a mile in 15 minutes and that we should be able to run one in 15 minutes. I couldn't do it. It was a Sisyphusian task. I couldn't run it. I stopped multiple times in the middle of the mile and I couldn't do it in less than 15 minutes. And it was humiliating. And I remember from that point onwards, I just always considered myself terrible at running. Flash forward to today in 2024. The longest distance I've ever actually run was a half marathon. My pace was atrocious, but I think that I can train myself. I think that I can train to be faster. And I started working out in 2020 during the lockdown to add some routine and structure to my life. And I really fell in love with working out. But it was always things where it was more anaerobic focus and never really like hit or cardio or running focused. And I just never saw myself as that type of person. A couple weeks ago, was the Boston Marathon. I moved to Boston last year, right after the Boston Marathon, so I hadn't seen it before. Watching that was so inspiring to me that I just feel like I was bit with a running bug. So I Googled a bunch of couch to half marathon programs because I know that I can run 13 point whatever miles. And yeah, I'm training for it. I signed up for a 10K in June. So we'll see how that goes, but this is really just my running journey, and to hopefully give hope to someone out there who, like me, was told when they were a child that they were terrible at running. You can get better, and hopefully I'll prove that in the course of these 13 weeks. So the program that I'm following really isn't anything special. Like I literally just Googled, I think 5K to half marathon because I know that I can run 3 miles. Not that I'm necessarily really planning to do a half marathon. I signed up for the 10K in June. Don't know if I'm going to do a half marathon. But yeah, I'm finishing up week 1. I think that I feel so weird about running sometimes because it feels almost antithetical to strength training, which is what I've been doing for so long now that it's just like kind of, I don't know. I feel like it's something that I continue to work towards. And so all of the goals that I had in my head for strength kind of are not really congruent with running goals. And so I think that I've decided that, especially because I just bulked, during my cut, I want to focus on running, focus on explosive power, and on calisthenics and on really being able to utilize my body weight and train with my body weight. And so there are a lot of cross-training things programmed into this plan. And so today is a long run for 4 miles, which I'm excited about because I don't think that that's going to be too bad. But every week there's an additional mile added on. And then tomorrow I have cross-training, so I signed up for a boxing class. And we'll probably do like a max out like pull-up set or something. That's honestly what I've been doing. I don't think it's like the best in terms. Actually, let me rephrase that. What I've been doing is I have been training calisthenics, where I do one set pretty much every day where I max out and do as much as I can. So as many pull-ups as I can, as many push-ups as I can, that type of thing. And I remember watching a Jeff Nippard video where it was like a crazy percentage of like maximum gains can be made from just pushing yourself to your absolute max a couple times a week or something along those lines. And so I'm really just hoping that I will maintain most of the strength that I've built up in these past couple of years, because it would be really sad if I lost the strength that I built. I have not run at all for 2 weeks. The first week I had the stomach flu, and right now I'm in Amsterdam on vacation, and I thought I was going to be running a lot, but it turns out I'm doing a lot of walking and my feet are getting tired and I don't have the energy in me. And so while technically this is supposed to be week 3 of my half marathon training, I unfortunately have not been doing that. But I'm not going to force myself to run, especially while I'm on vacation. And so what I think is going to happen is that if I get the chance to run here, like that would be great. I would love to do that. If I don't, I'm not going to sweat it. And then once I'm back home, I will go right back into basically where I left off. Because I think I left off with Sunday of week 2. So hopefully I get to at least go on one run here, because it would be fun to have that footage as well. But if not, I'm not going to be pressed about it. First run in Amsterdam, probably last run in Amsterdam. I'm pacing better than I thought it was going to be, which is good. Because after stomach flu, I really did not think that I'd be pacing the same that I was. I'm gonna drop my pace. Yeah, it's beautiful out here. And yeah, it's a gorgeous day. It's been a really long time since I've gone on a run, and here's the explanation as to why. Part of it is just I didn't feel like it. Second part of it was I felt like I was getting sick. My body just really didn't want to do any exercise. So I listened to my body, stopped exercising for a while, and here we are. I haven't run in I think it's been a week, maybe 2. But what I've learned so far is that I went a little bit too hard. And I think that I need to slow down just a little bit and do less miles in the full week. I think I realized I was hitting a plateau when I saw 6 miles on my running plan, and I was like, there's no fucking way I'm gonna do that. So I'm gonna do that today. I'm gonna do the 6 miles, and what I think I'm going to do moving forward is rather than doing all of the miles that it says in 1 week, I'm gonna try to space it out so I can still do strength training and Pilates and yoga and whatever I want to do in between and in the mix. So I'm gonna do the run today. I probably won't run tomorrow, and my birthday is coming up this weekend, so I'm probably gonna not run then. So hopefully I can get at least 2 runs in this week, but if not, I'm not gonna sweat it. Oh my god, I'm out on my run. And look at this little guy. How'd you get up there? This truly sucks. I think it's because I haven't run in a while, but I'm at 3 miles now. My pace is 12:24, and I am suffering. I don't think I'm gonna make it to 6 miles, to be completely honest. I'm already I think I'm 2 miles away from home, so I might just try to go for 5, but it's nice going on a run before I work because it kind of puts a time crunch on it, but I am suffering. Really not the best, but we did it. Oh, this is a terrible angle. I'm 2 weeks from my 10K, and I'm not progressing very well. So I think I'm getting worse. My pace is worse, which honestly might just be a factor of the heat. But I went on a mile run today, and I got really itchy. And I don't think I've mentioned that before, but I get really itchy when I run sometimes. I start to have an allergic reaction. And now I'm really nervous about the run because 1, I don't feel like I'm in shape for it. And 2, what if I start to get itchy? So I don't know. I think I'm just gonna try to not freak out about it. I'm also on my way to the airport, so you can maybe tell by my giant bag. And I'm flying to Indiana for work. And I don't know how many runs I can get in, but I'm hoping to do at least 1 long run, or long-ish run, that's comparable to the 10K, so maybe 4 miles. And then maybe some maintenance runs, because I'm just not really doing great with the cardiovascular department. But you know what? I have been doing some HIIT workouts, and I have been doing more short, fast runs. So we'll see what happens. I'll try to film something while I'm in Indiana. I'm traveling for work right now, but I still need to get these miles in. So doing 2 today. Hopefully we'll get 4 on another day, but I'm really just working on keeping a low pace. Okay, officially a week and a day from race day. I'm doing an easy run today, and for the first time in a really long time, I actually feel good. I've got a dog with me, and yeah, I think I'm gonna do a longer run. I'm gonna try to pace at 11s. We'll see how it goes. I got my bib today, which I'm very excited about. What number is it? 5202? Alright. Cool. Very excited. I ran with Ollie today. She was a very good girl, weren't you? You're so good. Ollie's my favorite dog that I dog sit. She's so sweet. And she was a very good running partner. And she's just so happy to be here. Look at her face. I have to talk kind of quietly because my significant other is asleep. But I just did 6 miles, which after I did it, I realized that 10K is actually 6.2. The race is a week away, and I think that my learning so far is in the beginning of this, I feel like I thought that being a runner meant being able to run at a certain pace. And I think that while the competitive runners, yes, you're running at a faster pace, for me personally, trying to make my pace faster than what it was burned me out really fast and just made me not enjoy the entire process. And so today, actually just recently in general, I've been focusing on lowering the pace and running so that I don't feel miserable. And today, I think that I mainly accomplished that. I definitely pushed myself a little bit harder in the last miles of my intervals. And so I did 3-2-1, where I ran 3 miles and then I walked for 0.1, and then I ran 2 miles and then I walked for 0.1, and then for the last 0.9 miles, I gave it my all, which really sucked, but actually worked out really well. I came in a little bit under time because I wanted to do 11s, but I think I did 11, or I did 10 something, definitely towards the higher end, but it was under 11, which was great for me because, as you know, I haven't really been feeling the best with my running lately. And so I'm excited for the race. I think that I'm going to do as well as I expect to. And honestly, I think that I just really want to focus on having fun and just enjoying being in a race for the first time. I'm a day away from my 10K, and it's the first race I'll ever run. Yesterday I was feeling really nervous, but I think that today I'm starting to get a little bit more excited about it. I have been honestly really off with my diet and with working out this week, but honestly I'm not too pressed about it just because I ran 6 miles last week. My only thing is that I don't think that my Apple Watch is completely accurate, and that's what I've been using to gauge all my miles. And so today I'm going to do maybe a 2 or 3 mile run on the treadmill and then see what rating my Apple Watch gives me versus the treadmill itself. And my hope is that my Apple Watch will underestimate how much I've gone. But I don't know what it's gonna look like, so we'll see. And if anything, if I don't hit the 11s that I want to, I'm not gonna sweat it, because at the very least, I tried, you know? Okay, I was absolutely dying in there, and there are people, but the treadmill said I clocked 2 miles. Apple Watch says 1.86. So I'm very happy that it was sandbagging me. So my Apple Watch actually doesn't sandbag me. I tried an indoor run instead of an outdoor run because I was on a treadmill, obviously. And during the actual race, it was about 0.05 miles off, where my Apple Watch was giving me a little bit of leeway. It says my average pace was 11:09, but I think it was 9:40, 9:30 or something. So excited for tomorrow. That did suck though. I hate running on treadmills, they're so boring. It's race day, and I totally forgot to film this while I was in my apartment getting ready. But I just had a banana, some peanut butter, I did some foam rolling, some shin stretches because my shin's been a little bit irritated lately. And then I had an energy drink, a bunch of electrolytes, and an allergy pill just in case I get itchy. So I have been really checking every box. I'm kind of nervous, but I'm very excited, and I know that no matter what happens, I will be happy that I did my first race. So just walking over now The weather is really gloomy, which honestly is okay with me. I brought 2 changes of socks just because it might get rainy. But I would honestly rather have this than the like extreme heat, so I'm grateful. So my 10K was yesterday. And I ran a lot faster than I thought I was going to. My bad. I finished the race in an hour, 2 minutes and 49 seconds, which means that I sustained a pace of 10 minutes and 7 seconds per mile. I did not expect this from myself. I feel like when I went out on that 6-mile run, I felt really good doing the 11s, but it was definitely like a, this is miserable, I'm suffering. And I think what made the difference was I didn't expect what the adrenaline would be like on race day. And I also didn't realize how many people would be out there for me to match pace to. So it was like 8,000 people all racing together. And it was such a like insane environment that I feel like I just kept up that pace. I had a really good running playlist going on. So I don't know, I just kept the pace. I'm really surprised with myself, and I think that the race experience was actually something that was such a great experience. And I would say even if you're like not confident running wise with like your pace or like the distance that you can go, sign up for a race and just experience what it's like, because being able to be out there with other people, it's just like a different environment. And I ran so much faster than I ever thought that I would. It was such a fun experience, and the people there are really sweet. So right before I started running, it started downpouring, and I like curled up into a ball basically to cover my feet so that I wouldn't have to run in soggy shoes. And someone behind me actually tapped on my shoulder and held an umbrella over me. And it was just so sweet because I ended up seeing her again at the finish line, and it's just like such a great environment. Everyone's really supportive. The adrenaline is insane. And I just highly recommend the experience to anyone who's never tried it before. I will also say that I know that at some point in this video, I mentioned that I wouldn't care as much about my pace, but I will say that there's something to running a race where your pace is just not what you expected, in terms of like, I did so much better than I thought I would, and I'm really proud of that. I ran the fastest I think I've ever run, even more so than when I was at my most cardiovascularly fit. And it honestly, I think, is because I was in a racing environment. I will also say that I think when I started this entire thing, I cared a lot more about the pace than I did about my physical ability to run. And I thought that that was what made a runner, was like the ability to run at a specific pace, whether it be like 8s or 9s. And I don't think I hold that view anymore. I think what makes you a runner is the ability to go out on runs and enjoy it and do it like a somewhat regular cadence. And I think I learned a lot from these first few months of really devoting myself to running and having like a clear goal. And I think what I've learned so far is that, one, it's really nice to have a clear goal because it kind of motivates you when you don't necessarily feel like getting out there. But two, I think that you really just have to find what works for you. And I think I should have known this, honestly, because in all other fitness endeavors I've done, like, finding what works for you ultimately is the number one factor. But with running, I think I just thought like that it had to be brutal and it had to be really intense and I had to be running a lot of miles every week. And so I think that moving forward, I'm gonna find a running plan that fits me a little bit better, because I still love weight training and I still love like doing hybrid training. And so running every day doesn't make sense for me. Running 4 times a week doesn't make sense for me. And so I think I'm probably gonna cut it down to like 2 times a week or whenever I feel like it. But I'm really glad that I had this experience, because I think now I can say that I am a runner. And I'm going to continue to work towards goals, but I think I just want to take it at my own pace. So thanks for watching. I hope you learned something. I hope you sign up for a race, or you start running and believe in yourself that you can be a runner, because if someone who couldn't run a full mile in high school can become someone who runs 6 miles at a 10-minute per mile pace, then I believe that you can do it too. Thanks for watching. Bye.